I'm about to show you the most beautiful country you're probably never going to visit. Not because you can't, but because everything you've been told about it is designed to keep you away. This country has 24 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, more than Spain. It has beaches that look like another planet, food that makes Italian cuisine jealous, and architecture that puts Dubai's skyscrapers to shame. But here's the crazy part. The tourism industry doesn't want you to know about Iran, and after watching this video, you'll understand why. Let's start with some shocking statistics. Iran has more historical sites than Turkey and Greece combined, yet receives fewer tourists than tiny Luxembourg. While travelers pay $200 per night in Rome to fight crowds at the Colosseum, Iran offers empty ancient palaces, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and luxury accommodations at a fraction of the cost. The Persian Empire at its peak controlled 44% of the world's population, more than any empire in history. Yet somehow, their remarkable architectural and cultural legacy remains virtually unknown to modern travelers. This isn't just an oversight, it represents one of travel's greatest missed opportunities. Iran's tourism infrastructure is surprisingly well developed, with modern airports, high-speed rail connections, and accommodation standards that often exceed expectations. The question isn't whether Iran can handle tourism, it's why so few people know about what it offers. Persepolis, built 2,500 years ago, covers 125,000 square meters and contains some of the world's finest stone carvings. Unlike Europe's crowded ancient sites, visitors often find themselves completely alone among these ruins. The craftsmanship is so detailed that individual facial expressions carved in stone remain clearly visible after 2.5 millennia. At Persepolis, you're not just seeing history, you're experiencing it without barriers, crowds, or time restrictions. Archaeological evidence shows that Persepolis was designed as a showcase of the empire's diversity, with representatives from 23 different nations carved into its walls. This wasn't just a palace, it was humanity's first international diplomatic center. The Nasir al-Mulk Mosque in Shiraz demonstrates architectural precision that modern engineers struggle to replicate. Built in the 1800s without computers or advanced calculations, its stained glass windows create exact rainbow patterns on the floor at specific times of day. The mathematical precision required for this effect shows a level of planning that puts contemporary architecture to shame. Esfahan's Shah Mosque contains acoustic phenomena that remain unexplained. Whispers carry perfectly across a 50-meter dome, while normal conversation stays localized. Sound engineers have studied this effect for decades without fully understanding how 17th century builders achieved such precise acoustic control. The dome construction techniques used in Iranian architecture influenced building methods worldwide. The pointed arch, ribbed vault, and complex geometric patterns seen in Persian buildings appeared in European Gothic architecture centuries later. Yet Iran's architectural achievements remain largely unrecognized in mainstream travel culture. Persian cuisine represents one of the world's oldest continuous culinary traditions, with recipes documented over 1,000 years ago, still prepared today. The complexity rivals French cooking. Dishes like fesenjan require 20+ ingredients and hours of preparation, creating flavor profiles that combine sweet, sour, and savory elements in ways unfamiliar to Western palates. Iran produces 90% of the world's saffron, the most expensive spice by weight. What costs $15 per gram in Western countries is used abundantly in everyday Iranian cooking. This isn't just about economics, It's about a culture that values flavor and presentation in ways that put expensive Western restaurants to shame. Iran contains virtually every climate zone on Earth within its borders. The country includes snow-covered ski resorts, subtropical Caspian forests, and deserts so extreme that NASA uses them for Mars research. This geographical diversity creates travel possibilities that few countries can match. The Lut Desert reaches ground temperatures of 70 degrees Celsius, 158 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of Earth's most extreme environments. Yet the same country offers ski resorts with powder snow and resort facilities that rival alpine destinations. A domestic flight between these contrasting environments costs under $40. Hormuz Island features beaches with naturally rainbow-colored sand, not artificial coloring, but geological formations that create red, yellow, white, and purple coastal areas. The island receives fewer than 10,000 international tourists annually, despite offering unique landscapes found nowhere else on Earth. Yazd represents humanity's oldest continuously inhabited city, with urban planning solutions that predate modern environmental engineering by centuries. The city's wind catcher towers provide natural air conditioning without electricity, cooling buildings to comfortable temperatures, even in 40 degrees Celsius heat. Traditional Persian houses in cities like Kashan feature architectural solutions for climate control that modern green building standards are only now rediscovering. Seasonal rooms, natural cooling systems, and light management techniques create comfortable living spaces using only natural materials and physics. Many of these historic buildings now operate as boutique hotels, offering travelers the chance to sleep in authentic Persian architecture for $25 to $40 per night. These aren't recreations or theme hotels. They're genuine historical buildings converted for modern use while maintaining their original character. Persian hospitality, known as Taraf, represents a cultural system that prioritizes guest treatment above personal comfort. This isn't tourism marketing. It's documented anthropological behavior that consistently surprises international visitors. Travel bloggers and journalists regularly report experiences that seem impossible in other countries. Taxi drivers refusing payment, families inviting strangers to dinner, and shopkeepers offering gifts with purchases. These behaviors aren't poverty-driven or economically motivated. They're expressions of deep cultural values about hospitality and honor. The concept extends beyond individual interactions to institutional levels. Hotels regularly upgrade guests without charge. Restaurants serve complimentary dishes, and service providers offer additional value without expecting payment. For budget travelers, this cultural norm creates experiences that would cost hundreds in other destinations. Statistical analysis shows Iran has lower crime rates than most popular tourist destinations. Female solo travelers report consistently positive experiences with cultural requirements, modest dress and headscarves in public being the primary adjustment needed. These requirements, while unfamiliar to some Western travelers, don't significantly impact travel experiences, according to documented visitor accounts. The political tensions reported in international news operate at governmental levels and rarely affect tourist experiences. Tourism areas maintain normal operations, and locals consistently separate political issues from guest treatment, as documented by travel researchers and journalists. While travel guides focus on major sites like Persepolis and Esfahan, Iran contains hundreds of remarkable destinations that receive virtually no international attention. Masuleh village features houses built into mountainsides where rooftops serve as streets, creating architectural solutions that inspired sustainable building practices worldwide. The Caspian Sea region offers beaches, forests, and resort towns that remain completely unknown to international tourism. Gilan province produces Iran's famous rice in terraced systems that create landscapes comparable to Bali's rice terraces, but without the crowds or commercial development. Qeshm Island contains geological formations that create natural sculpture gardens spanning hundreds of square kilometers. These formations, created by millions of years of erosion, offer hiking and photography opportunities that exist nowhere else on Earth, yet receive fewer visitors in a year than Yellowstone receives in a day. Iran's currency situation creates extraordinary value for international travelers. Luxury hotel rooms that would cost $300 to $500 in comparable destinations are available for $30 to $50. Restaurant meals that would cost $80 to $100 in major Western cities cost $8 to $12 in Iran. This isn't poverty pricing. It's currency exchange reality combined with an economy that hasn't been fully integrated into international tourism markets. Service quality, food standards, and accommodation comfort often exceed expectations, while costs remain dramatically lower than similar experiences worldwide. Transportation costs follow similar patterns. High-speed rail connections between major cities cost under $15. Domestic flights across the entire country cost $25 to $40. Private guides with university degrees and multiple language skills charge $30 to $50 per day. These aren't budget options. They're standard services priced at levels that seem impossible compared to other destinations. Iran represents perhaps the greatest value opportunity in international travel today. The combination of historical significance, cultural depth, geographical diversity, and economic accessibility creates experiences that simply aren't available elsewhere at any price. The country offers everything serious travelers seek: authentic culture, remarkable history, diverse landscapes, excellent food, and genuine local interaction. The primary barrier isn't practical. It's perception based on political news rather than travel reality. For travelers willing to look beyond headlines and consider evidence over assumptions, Iran offers experiences that will fundamentally change how they think about travel, history, and cultural exchange. The question isn't whether Iran deserves a place on serious travel itineraries. It's why it isn't already there.